Just eat normal. Why are you always working out? You're skinny enough. You don't need to lose any more weight. Oh, come on, man. Let's go have this pizza. Come on. Oh, you've been doing so good. You deserve it. It won't hurt you. No, it won't hurt you. You building all that muscle? You don't want to get you don't want to look like a bodybuilder, do you? We're going to talk about how to deal with those comments and how to deal with negativity within your weight loss journey. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's Anthony Monda. Before we talk about today's topic, I just want to let you guys know that I'm officially accepting clients online. My website is up and running, so that's really exciting news for me. It's something I've really been working towards and something I'm really excited and passionate about, that I'm actually starting to live my dream, and most importantly, that I'm going to be able to change lives. This is my plan all along, to be able to work one-on-one with people who are in my shoes, who are struggling like I was, and try to help them get in a better place in their life so they can go on and do great things. So they don't need me, 5 years down the line. They're, looking good and everything like that, living life to the fullest. So if you're interested, I got a link in my bio to my website. If you're interested in my one-on-one coaching, you can fill out the online coaching application. It's right down when you scroll on my homepage or the online coaching tab. Just super excited about that, man. Like I said, it's my dream. And I'm just so thankful to my YouTube audience, because that's where I first started putting out content, and I'm very thankful for you guys' support. But we don't have to talk anymore about that, man. All right, let's talk about negativity throughout your weight loss journey. So I personally believe this is one of the most neglected, talked about parts of weight loss and getting into fitness and stuff like that. Is because you're gonna hear comments, both good and bad, throughout your journey. And here's the sad fact. Let's just get this out of the way. Caring about your health, partaking in fitness, working out, it's not normal. For 90% of the population, it's not normal. So when you do that, when you put health as a focus in your life, if you start to work out, you start to eat healthy, you're gonna receive pushback. You're gonna have people that are gonna test you, that are gonna say negative things to try to throw you off track. And we're gonna get into, I don't even know if they're doing this consciously, but they want to see how you're gonna react. Because basically, let's get into it right now. The reason that they're saying these negative things that I talked about in the opening scene of this video is what you're doing, making health your priority, taking working out and eating right seriously. It's making them uncomfortable, because here's why it makes them uncomfortable. When they see you doing these things, they start to question themselves. Oh, this person's doing so good. Why can't I eat healthy? Why do I always have to turn to the donut in the break room, or go out for pizza every single night, right? So they try to keep you level with them. They don't want you to start going up here and doing better things for yourself, because then they feel like they'll lose the relationship with you that they had. Whether this is someone in your family, a coworker. When I think about it, it's a lot of coworkers, because that's what I've heard. I don't know. You can get it from literally anyone, so that's neither here nor there. But they want to keep you level with them. They want to keep you not mediocre, but whatever you guys are at. If they see you start to do better for yourself and want more out of life and want to live longer and take better care of yourself, that threatens them. Because if they're not doing that, it makes them feel uncomfortable. It forces them to self-reflect, so they have to look at themselves and say, okay, why am I not doing that? Or why can't I stick to doing that? And then that comes out as a negative comment of, oh, why are you eating so healthy all the time? Don't you want to live life and have fun? We're all gonna die anyway, right? It's yeah, we're all gonna die, but you want the quality of your life to be as awesome as is while you're on this earth, right? I've never understood that comment, we're all gonna die. Yeah, we all understand that, but you want to live the best life possible. And I'm sure you guys can feel how passionate I'm getting right now is because when you choose to make health your priority, you're doing something for yourself that is literally going to set you apart from anyone. Now, like we talked about, that's an absolutely outstanding thing. But to think you're not going to deal with negativity, you'd be fooling yourself, right? So number one, I want to get across what we just talked about. The reason they're saying that is because it's making them uncomfortable, it's forcing them to self-reflect, and they want to keep you mediocre like themselves. Because if a successful person heard you start doing that, or if someone who was already into health and fitness heard that you were getting into it, they would be like, oh cool, like what are you doing? Let's talk about it, let's get a workout in, or like, oh, I use this recipe, or I got this cool air fryer. You know what I mean? It's like conversation would go like that with positive people, and then with negative people it'd be like, why are you working out all the time? Like, don't you want to go to the bars with us and like go to happy hour and just chill and just do nothing, like, or just you look good enough, stop losing weight. It's just like, I'm sure you guys have heard that over and over, and I know I have, and it really bothered me at first because I'm like, what the heck is going on here? It's like, when I was overweight, people were, number one, either making fun of me, ridiculing me for being overweight, or like saying rude comments, stuff like that. Or number two, when I was, when we would sit down for lunch and I would eat what everyone else was, like pizza, stromboli, cheeseburgers, there would be nothing said. But then I started to eat healthy, and then everyone was like making comments about my meals. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I heard more pushback when I actually started to take or make my health a priority, which I didn't understand then, but I do now. It's because you're making people uncomfortable. Okay, so you have, from there, once you realize that and accept that that's just how some people are going to be because they have a negative outlook on life anyway, you have like one of two options. Now, I know it's tough with family because like they're family and we got to keep them around, right? But the first thing you can do, and the first thing I encourage you to do, is just talk to them. Tell them, look, I'm going on this weight loss journey. I'm trying to take my health seriously because I'm very unhappy with how I look. I'm not comfortable in my own skin. So I may have to make certain sacrifices. I may have to not do certain things with you, but in the long run, it's going to allow me to be happy. So if you care about me, if you want me to be happy, please support me. I know you don't have to love everything I do. You don't even have to understand it, right? But I want you by my side during this. You know what I mean? And those things that you're saying right now, they're actually affecting me, and like they're continuing to lower my self-esteem, lower than it already is. And that's an uncomfortable conversation to have, especially with a family member. I'm lucky enough where, my family was always very supportive of my health goals and everything like that, but I've seen it more and more, especially like with friends or like coworkers, that negative pushback. So number one, instead of just getting mad and saying, screw you, I'm not going to be around you anymore because you're saying all this bad stuff about me, even though I'm trying to do good things, talk to them, let them know, I want you in my life, but I also want you to support me. So whether that's just you just not saying those things, or you just explain why you're doing it, literally tell them, I'm unhappy, I'm doing this because I want to be happy, and if I'm happy, then we're going to have a better relationship. And then my theory on that is, if they turn that down, if they reject that, then they're not good for you in the first place. And that's a tough thing to get over, because when you start to separate yourself and do something abnormal that the population's not, or the majority of the population's not doing, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? If you're with the flow the whole time, you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're not gonna receive any pushback. It's like that thing of like, your haters are like your biggest admirers. It's true. Like, if nobody's kind of calling you out for something, if nobody's hating on you for something you're doing, like, you're not doing anything like special. And what you're doing, if you're watching this video, if you're still watching this video, what you're doing is very special. Like we talked about, not a lot of people care about their health. It's sad, it's the truth. All right, so you should be proud of yourself, but you should also grant yourself the opportunity to talk to those people and give them an opportunity to understand where you're coming from. And again, if they reject that, then you know what? You gotta cut them off. I don't know what else to say. It's like, you gotta, and this is, again, with the family, it's tough to just like completely cut someone off, right? So how you would handle this is like you just slowly and like bit by bit stop associating yourself with them, or like stop doing those things that you once did with them, because you're realizing that, you know, their attitude or like the things they do, that it's negative, and you know, their negative comments are coming from a place of insecurities and, you know, lack of confidence on their part, as opposed to anything you're doing wrong on your part. So it's very important to understand that. And like I said, if they reject that, just kind of slowly, you know, start to stop associating yourself with them. It's a tough thing to do, but it's better than just being like, okay, I'm not talking to you, and just like getting mad, and then they tell people, and then they're like, what's wrong with that dude? He thinks that, you know, he's the crap now just because like he cares about health. It's like, you don't want to get into that. Just be politeful. I don't think that's the word. Be polite. Be respectful. That's what I wanted to say. And just let them know, man. Let them know that you're doing this to make yourself happy. At the end of the day, and this is what I really want you guys to get out of this, you're the one that has to do this in the first place, right? Like, I feel like we kind of forget this sometimes. It's like our feelings and thoughts and emotions are the only thing that matters. Now, that's not from a selfish point of view. It's the fact that you're the only one that can judge yourself. Like, if somebody else is saying anything about you, it doesn't matter, because you're the one that has to work out when it's not convenient. You know, you're the one that has to prepare your meals and make sure you're eating healthy and make sure you're doing all the right things that you can start to live a better life and look better, in those clothes, and look in the mirror and be happy. And you're the one that has to make those sacrifices to allow that to happen. So for you to put a majority of your thought and your energy and your time into other people's opinions or other people's comments, like, it's just not worth it. And I know it's so hard to get out of that mindset, right? Because that's we're like, that's kind of like how society is. We're taught to like care what other people think. I'm not telling you not to value everyone else's, inputs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're the one that's either allow yourself to continue living the life you're living, or to choose to start to live a different life, to change your life, to be more comfortable in your skin, to be able to go, during the summer, you're at your poolside, you're on the beach, you're happy, you're able to go talk to the opposite sex and feel like, oh, I'm confident, like I can do this. Like, or you're able to go in public and not feel like anybody's staring at you. What you're doing is very admirable, but it's also, you're putting yourself into a minority of people. And I know it doesn't seem like that, because like if you go on Instagram, everyone's healthy, fit, abs, tan, jacked. It's not like that. You know what I mean? It's like 90% of the people out there, they don't care about their health, they don't care about fitness, and that's totally cool. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just letting you know that, because that's where the source of those negative comments, the negative environment that you may find yourself in, once you start to separate yourself from the norm because you're trying to do positive things, that starts to threaten people. I hope you guys don't have to deal with this, but it's likely that you will, and it's likely that you may if you're already watching this, if you're still watching this. So what you need to do is just understand why it's happening. You can either confront these people, or you can slowly start to, not associate yourself with them. And then number 4, and most importantly, you got to realize, like, you're doing this for you, and you cannot do it for anyone else. So that's how to deal with negativity. That's why it happens in the first place. I hope you guys can really relate to this one, because I really can. I remember, like, when I first started my journey, it was a lot of like, oh, cool, like, yeah, you're losing weight, oh, good for you. But then once I started taking it serious, once I started to make it a priority and kind of, take it, make it a lifestyle, it was kind of looked down upon, like, hey, man, like, oh, you think you're better than us now? Or, oh, come on, just, like I said in the beginning, just go out and let's just have this meal, or go drink. Like, it's not going to ruin your progress. And that's true, but, like, I feel like if you continually succumb to those thoughts and those statements, that it's going to, like, put in your head that, oh, it won't matter, and then you'll do it week after week, and then it'll be, a couple times a week. I don't know. It just all adds up, man. So screw that negativity. You're going into this because you want to better your life. We're all positive over here. Bad things are going to happen to you during this weight loss journey. You're going to have bad days. There's going to be people that tick you off. But in the end, you're going to be so happy, and you're going to be able to start to work on the things that are making you unhappy in the first place. Okay? So screw that negativity. If you deal with it, you not know how to handle it. It took me forever to kind of realize that's why people were saying it, but I'm glad I'm in that place, and I hope you guys understand why it happens now. As always, thank you so much for your support. You guys mean the world to me. Every single like, comment, subscription, reaching out to me on Instagram, on Twitter, everything. Like, man, like, that just means so much to me, because, like, who am I? Like, I always have this thought, like, I'm no one. If I can just help one person with this video, I'll be straight. If I can help one person, be more comfortable in their body, or learn a skill or a tactic to help them on their journey, then I've done my job. So when multiple when multiple people comment and say that I've helped, or I'm giving them any value, it makes me just feel so good, because I feel like this is my true purpose and passion on this earth. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.